From Colorado's news channel, this is CBS4 This Morning.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to CBS4 This Morning. It's just about 5:59 right now. Friday, November 2nd. I'm Alan Janae.
And I'm Britt Marino. Happy Friday to you. You have made it to the end of your work week. Thanks for joining us here on Colorado's News Channel. We'll kick things off with the Colorado Eye-Opener.
We're just days away from the November election, and voter turnout amongst young people in our state is extremely low. Just 15% of the ballots that have been turned in by people aged 40 or younger.
Usually we don't talk about the big guys up front, but that's what Sunday's game will be all about. The Broncos' offensive line against the Texans' stout defensive line.
His seventh to go with 12 points. Inside, and Beasley clears the cobwebs.
For decades, Swallow Hill has been making positive changes in people's lives through music. This morning, we have live music from Denver's Martin Gilmore. He's the first artist featured in our Swallow Hill music series.
Eye on the target and wham! One shot, one gunshot, and bam! Woo! Hey, Mr. Unseen Hero!
Now that is how you wake up in the morning with Barbara.
You have a Barbara devotional room at home, don't you?
You know I do. I love you, Barbara.
Yeah, okay.
I love you.
Oh, boy. Yeah, she needs to keep her hands on the steering wheel. She was frightening me.
Too much information. All right, what's happening? We have some snow coming in the mountains, right?
We have not only one storm, we have two storms on the way. One that'll start the weekend in the high country, the other one that will end the weekend. Loveland ski area that, of course, opened for the season. They're reporting about 3-4 inches of powder over the last 24 hours. That's peanuts compared to what's on the way. This is going to be the biggest storm of the season so far, certainly for the northern and central mountains of the state. Today, a few light snow showers up there. Any kind of accumulation between now and 5-6 p.m. It's not going to be much in the mountains. For Denver and the Front Range, enjoy it today. It's going to be mostly sunny, and it will be warmer thanks to a southwesterly wind. It's going to be breezy today, just like it was yesterday, but yesterday was a cold northerly breeze. Today is going to be a warmer southerly wind. That's going to push us into the lower and middle 60s. This could be our warmest day in at least a week and a half. Big change on the way. Next week, Andrea, it's going to really feel like wintertime, including in Denver. We're not going to get the snow, but we will get the chill. We'll talk all about it straight ahead.
Already getting those goosebumps, that's for sure. Right now, we're taking a look at Copter 4. They are searching around for some traffic issues across the metro area. Hard to find because we are pretty quiet as you take a wider look at the metro map. This is about as good as your Friday commute is going to get, so let's enjoy it. You can see we have some slowing along I-76 westbound, but we have one crash to report. This is a minor one, southbound Quebec at Highway 2. I want to take you out to the drive times, though. We are seeing some slowing along I-270 eastbound. Those speeds dipping into the 50s, only a 6-minute drive. From Henderson to Denver, you're looking at an 8-minute drive from US 85 to I-25.
Thank you so much. We'll cover Colorado first this morning. Voters have 4 days to get those ballots in or vote in person. Now state leaders are asking where the young voters are. The Secretary of State's office says young voter turnout is surprisingly low. Mackenzie O'Keefe is live at Metro State University with more on voter turnout.
Good morning, Britt. Yeah, those young voters just don't seem to be showing up for this November election, and that's why really campuses across the state and here in Denver are pushing students and really encouraging them to get those ballots turned in. Now, there are only a few days left for political parties and organizations to really get the word out. Some organizations are targeting students. They say they've noticed that young voters are somewhat more interested in issues than left or right, but that's just really not what these ballots are showing so far. Over 1 million ballots have been dropped off here in our state, but just 15% of the ones that have been returned are people age 40 or younger.
I've talked to a lot of people that are like, oh, I filled out my ballot, I haven't dropped it off. I personally haven't dropped off my ballot either. I think it's always an uphill battle. I think even if we got 50% voter turnout from young people in the midterms, that's not enough.
Now, really, to dig deeper into those statistics, about 5% actually of those ballots that have been returned are 25 and younger, so really not a good show for young voters just yet. But the hope is that maybe there's some procrastination going on since there are still a few days left. We're live in Denver. Mackenzie O'Keefe covering Colorado first.
Yeah, I would bet on that, having daughters in that age range. Good morning. It's CBS4 This Morning, launching a new music project. We're partnering with Swallow Hill Music to bring you some great music from Colorado bands as you wake up. We love doing this. We're going to be live with with different artists for the next 5 Fridays. First up, singer-songwriter Martin Gilmore. He has a whole pile of talent. Tori Mason's live at Swallow Hill right now. Hey, Tori.
Good morning, Alan. Swallow Hill is a community for music lovers meant to bring people together. And look at this, they already have. They brought Martin Gilmore and CBS4 together this morning. Now, we've been hearing his music all morning, but for those just joining us, tell us about yourself and a little about your music.
Well, let's see, I've been living in Denver for 10 years, except for 2 years that I lived overseas. I'm a music teacher. I've been teaching at Swallow Hill for 10 years as well, and I also teach at the University of Northern Colorado, teaching bluegrass guitar, and I love teaching music. I love being here at Swallow Hill. There's a lot of great music and a lot of great people that come through this place.
It's a great place to be. Now, you're a folks and bluegrass kind of guy, but you did just spend a couple of years over in Egypt. Has that changed your style at all?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I learned a lot about other types of music. The music over there is very different. Although it's still folk music, it's amazing how it's a world language. Like the songs, even though in a different language, are kind of the same as American folk songs. And Arabic folk music is really popular in Egypt. So I met a lot of Arabic musicians. I bought an oud, and I'm trying to learn how to play it, but I haven't. It's hard. It's harder than this.
All right, so what do you have for us right now?
Let's see. Here's one I wrote. I'm going to play on the bouzouki, or the octave mandolin, which is a little different than a guitar. It's got 8 strings instead of 6. And this is a song I wrote about the Ohio River, because I like to travel. His father had given him a guitar. His mother taught him how to sing. He sat by the river as an old man, dreaming a young love blooming in the spring. He sang a song about a girl that he loved dearly. Too early she was taken away. And the song that he sang was so sorrowful with pain that even hardest hearts would break. And he watched that Ohio River roll as he sat there on the shore, and he sang a song so sad for the love he'd had that he longed to see once more.
That is awesome. Justin Gilmore, awesome, with the bouzouki this morning. Great to have that music as we get started on a Friday. So happy to bring it to you. We're going to check back in a little while, Swallow Hill Music, and we're going to be bringing you that music on Fridays in the future. Houston Texans are coming to town Sunday with a guy who should be able to find his way to Mile High without too much trouble, Demarius Thomas.
That's one way to put it. Denver traded him to Houston earlier this week. We're coming around full circle, everybody. That move, of course, giving fans a lot to talk about. Justin Adams is joining us now, and after that DT trade, the Broncos are now getting ready for a pretty big battle on the lines.
Yeah, it's easy to talk about the guys on the outside, Demarius Thomas, and for good reason. Look, he's no longer with the Broncos, he's with the Texans, but usually we don't talk about the big guys up front, but that's what this game will be all about. The Broncos' offensive line against the Texans' stout defensive line. Houston has 3 star pass rushers in J.J. Watt, Jadeveon Clowney, and Whitney Merciless, a favorite of Allen, by the way. The 3 have combined for 13.5 sacks, and that's a problem for the Broncos. The O-line gave up 5 sacks against the Chiefs last week. They will keep an eye on J.J. Watt, who has 8 sacks on the season, and that's second best in the NFL. Case Keenum played with Watt before, and he knows how dangerous he can be.
I mean, I've seen firsthand, you know, how good he is, and the game wrecker that he can be. And, you know, they have a couple other guys on that side of the ball with Clowney and Merciless, and, you know, some other guys that can do very similar things. So, you know, we got our work cut out for us as an offense.
Obviously, they're playing great defense, and that's where it starts with that front with J.J. Watt and Merciless and Clowney. Those guys are dominant rushers, so we got to be smart with how we approach first, second down to keep our third downs manageable. If it's third and long, okay, we got a problem blocking those guys, so we understand that.
So what's the best way to stay away from 3rd and long? Run the football. Phillip Lindsay leads all rookie running backs in rushing yards. He'll face a Texans run defense that's 7th best in the league. It's also important to establish the run for another reason, because it keeps Case Keenum upright. Most of the sacks the Broncos give up are when Case Keenum is in the shotgun. Now, if you don't know, the shotgun formation is when Keenum lines up about 5 yards behind the center. But check this out. 20 of the 22 sacks the Broncos have given up were when Case Keenum was in the shotgun, and that has to change. Now at 6:50, I'll tell you why. There's a great matchup between Chris Harris and DeAndre Hopkins that, Britt, is worth the price of admission.
All righty, Justin, thank you so much. Cannot wait for that. And the Houstons come to town on Sunday. Game time is 2:05.
Those Texans with a guy named Merciless. That worries me. That just does not sound good. Let's get to Ashton right now, covering Colorado's first weather. Let's talk about what the weather is going to be like on Sunday.
Yeah, so live look there, obviously, at the stadium. You can see the U.S. and state flag whipping around just a little bit. You know, the weather on Sunday is not going to be bad. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a little cooler than usual for the first weekend in November. But honestly, Sunday, after today, is going to be one of our nicer days. 45 degrees over at Lookout Mountain. Sun will be up around 7:30 this morning. Of course, we do have the time change this weekend. We get that extra hour's sleep that we lost in the spring. Temperatures in the 30s here as we start the day. We've got 20s, 30s, even 40s right now in the mountains. Salada's at 41 degrees. We're going to get up into the mid-60s here in Denver. It's going to be breezy, just like it was yesterday, but the wind direction will be different. Yesterday, we had a northerly wind keeping us cool, and if you were outside in that wind yesterday, it really felt chilly. Today, the wind's going to be coming out of the southwest, and that's going to be, therefore, mean a warmer wind that will allow for the warm-up. Mountain areas, 30s, 40s, and 50s later today. There's not going to be much snow in the mountains between now and 5, 6 p.m. And what little snow is up there today is not going to accumulate to much. It's tonight that we anticipate some much more intense snowfall. Could be 12, maybe even more inches of snow by early tomorrow for some mountain areas. We'll talk more about it in just a moment. Right now, let's get over to Andrea, get a check on your traffic. Good morning.
Good morning, Ashton. We are taking a look at Copter 4. They're flying over I-25 and Broadway this morning. If you're making your way into the downtown Denver area, it doesn't look like you're going to run into much trouble, especially if you're going from the tech center into downtown. A wonderful commute. It is Friday, so a lot of folks possibly sleeping in. Right now, we're taking a look at I-225, and this is Alameda. We did have a stall over on the right shoulder. That has since cleared up, so you shouldn't see any problems or issues along I-225 north or southbound. We still have an incredible commute. All of the interstates running at their posted speeds. That's why everything is nice and green. We do have one traffic issue, however. This is a crash southbound Quebec at Highway 2.
Andrea, you like this music we're playing in the morning?
I'm loving this music. It's incredible. They are incredible.
It is awesome.
It is awesome. As we head to break, here's a band called Strange Americans playing No Punches, and thanks again to Swallow Hill Music.
So starting today, you're going to hear a variety of Colorado bands as you wake up in the morning with us here on CBS4, so we hope you like this one. We'll be right back.